Good morning. This is FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. I'm at the Fuse meeting in Dallas, and I'm with Scott Garmon with Garmon Company. Scott, how you doing?
I'm fine, Kemp. Thank you.
You're a board member here at Fuse, and we'll catch up with Fuse here in just a minute. Why don't you first tell us a little bit about Garmon Company in Charlotte?
Well, Garmon Company, we are in our 27th year in business, but we've got a proud history in the Charlotte area. Garmon Company was started by Betty Garmon. She's Betty 9 to 5, and she's mom after 5. So I'm proud that my mother started our company. She started her first business in 1983, later had a partnership breakup, and changed the name and incorporated as Garmon Company in 1995. So we're in our 27th year of business and still growing strong.
What was the name of the company before Garmon?
Previously, it was Flooring Concepts.
And so you're a commercial flooring contractor in Charlotte. Do you have a specialty, or is there one of the vertical sectors that you spend more time on?
We've really had our history in corporate, and that would be with direct end users as well as general contractors. Over the past many years, we've diversified with the growth of Charlotte and the Southeast, and so we focus now very much in a medical market segment, a hospitality market segment, still keep our roots in corporate work. But general contractors are our core, but we certainly have other partnerships with manufacturers and just work as partners in all elements of those. Recently, we're trying to expand into a focus group to higher education as well as senior living. We actually, during the downturn, had no business in the hospitality area. We shifted that focus to senior living, and now that hospitality is waking back up, that's a waking giant for us right now.
How was business last year?
Business last year was good. We came in the year with a respectable backlog. Backlog was not as good as 2020, but it was respectable. And as things continued to open up, things opened up well. So we grew last year again.
As far as the crews that you run, are they independent contractors? How many crews do you run?
We run quite a few independent contractors, I would say on average about 20. We also have a small in-house workforce of installers that we continue to try and to add staff where that's concerned. So, but we're predominantly independent contractors.
What are some of your biggest challenges right now?
Some of the biggest challenges are across all of our business sectors, and that's cost control. That's the cost of business going up from cost to do business with insurances, as we just got done discussing at the meeting, but certainly controlling the cost of adhesives, of our soft surface goods, of our resilient goods, primarily the freights, and being able to predict that, to contain that, and then get it in our warehouse. We're working with end users and our clients to try and bring in material early to control those costs, but now warehousing is at a premium. So those are some of our major concerns.
And you focus on the GC. Have you ever thought about trying to reach out to end user and maybe work a little bit through A&D and cover all three of those bases?
Well, we've always had a respectable interaction with the A&D community in our area, and that is as a consultant. We like to say that, a manufacturer's rep is certainly going to represent their product and tell you why it's the best, but we're going to speak to you honestly and tell you why that product or another product will be better suited for your project. So we do have that dialogue with A&D. We also have MSAs with many end users. And so that is to help them have a good servicing arm and in many cases tell the general contractor to use us. And that helps us frame the budget frameworks and make sure the product and approach is correct for the end user.
Help me and maybe some of the other listeners we have that don't understand MSA.
That's a master service agreement.
So this is all you've known since college. Are you having fun doing this?
I'm still having fun. Yes, I am. I'm 25 years in the business this year. With all the growth challenges, that we have had a very stable set of employees and team members. We continue to add better team members all the time, and I'm still having fun.
So how many years you been in Fuse?
Been in Fuse 6 years now. And I'm an engaged person. I'm an engaged member of Fuse. Recently elected to the board of directors. Very proud of that. I have a lot to learn, I think is what helps me keep having fun in the business.
So you just got on the board this past year, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
What do you get out of being part of Fuse?
I would say First and foremost, the exchange of best practices, interaction with our peers, both in market and out of market. It gives you a chance to share. We're more mature than some companies. Other companies are much more mature than us, but we're all dealing with some of the same challenges in how we approach our business and our customers. From the same spirit, it just helps us be better. The other elements that we get out of Fuse is my professional growth. And so interacting with other board members, it requires that you come prepared and that you show up ready to participate. I would say lastly, the interaction with the manufacturers on a higher level, having that direct access and communication. I've known some of these heads of the manufacturing facilities for a very long time. James Leslie and I met 20 some odd years ago. Mike Goldman tells stories about meeting Betty Garmon, and I was probably 18, 19 years old at the time. So it's really neat to see some of those things come full circle.
We're on the middle of the second day of this meeting, and we've had action-packed. Obviously, it was a trade show last night and many different sessions. What was the highlight you think of the show this year?
Well, the motivational speakers are always very good. I would say so far the highlight has been the roundtable. The members continue to be more open and are more willing to share. The spirit that we have within the Fuse organization is growth-oriented, it's growth-minded, it's a spirit of sharing. And I think our roundtable discussions really reflect that. But our speaker this year is a motivational speaker. It's always good for business owners and leaders in organizations to hear very positive messages that also go hand in hand with challenge. And we're in challenging times, and we need to take home some positive messaging around it.
You talking about Mike Moore yesterday or the rock and roll guy today?
Mike Moore, he's always fantastic, and I don't think a Fuse conference would be complete without him. So yes, Mike Moore, and our speaker today was fantastic with all his analogies to rock and roll. So
what's your outlook for 22? You think it's going to be more of the same, going to be a strong year for you?
Currently, I do think so. Things continue to open up. Our backlog is still healthy. We have stability from a work perspective in our area. Our expanded location in the Triad of North Carolina has also a good backlog and a continued gain. I think that what worries me are obviously our economic pressures from petroleum-based, and you just can't have a conversation right now without mentioning Ukraine and the pressure that Russia is putting on the world by doing what they're doing.
All right, Scott, it's great to catch up with you. Thanks for spending time with my listeners. Again, been talking to Scott Garmon with Garmon Company. He's president and co-owner, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.